This is a farm forestry site that was planted in 2007. The site was chosen by the landholders because there's a salinity problem, and the funding was for planting trees on salinity sites to reduce the amount of salt going into the Murrumbidgee River. And there's 10 hectares here altogether, and planted in 2006 with a number of different species. About a few years ago they pruned them. If you see up the trunks, you can see where all the branches have been pruned off. And then last week they were thinned. The pruning is to get rid of all the branches so that the clear wood, the good quality wood, is maximised in the tree. And then the thinning is to make sure that the trees that remain grow quickly in diameter. And that's where the value of the timber is. That's all been pruned about 3 or 4 years ago. All the wounds, the pruning wounds have been grown over. And it's a nice straight tree, so that's why, a nice big tree. That's why it was left. So last week they were thinned, probably about every second tree on average was taken out, not evenly distributed, but just choosing the best quality trees left behind and the poorer ones taken away and left on the ground at this stage for potential firewood harvest. And this is one that's been thinned. You can see the stump, and that's the tree there on the ground. You can see it's a smaller tree and got some big limbs up the top there that is not the best one to keep, so that's why it was taken. The other advantage in having farm forestry is stock shelter. It's not just the timber value, but as I mentioned before, the salinity, mitigation, and then also shelter for stock. And also you can probably hear a number of birds in the background, so it's a good wildlife area as well. Before the trees were planted, it was just a bare paddock, and now it has added to the biodiversity of the area in terms of bird life, at least anyway. These trees have never been watered. It's very, very time consuming to do that, and especially on a big site like this. And if you do your ground preparation properly and your weed control properly, that is 90% of the reason why you have success. One of the important aspects of farm forestry is that it is a long-term project, and you do have to keep maintaining the site with pruning and thinning when it's required. And one of the parts of my role now with the Riverina Local Land Services is to keep in touch with the landholders that have done this, establish these farm forestry sites to encourage them to keep pruning and keep thinning where they're able to. So we'll hope to continue that for as long as we can in terms of managing these farm forestry sites.